Welcome back to 02 Million Crypto. My name is GC. We are live. Yes, we are live. Joining me as I'm on my way to my buddy's house to watch some football, as I got the day off today. Today, let's talk about Greyscale's ETF application and how the SEC didn't appeal it, and why that's so huge for crypto and the entire space. So it's pretty obvious that the SEC is trying to stifle crypto's innovation, because no matter what, well, Bitcoin and crypto, as we know, XRP recently won the case of XRP not being a security, and the judge, I believe her name is Annalisa Torres. I could be wrong about that, but I believe she's the one that denied the appeal from the SEC. Sorry about that. I believe she's the one that denied the appeal of the SEC for the XRP token not being a security. And that's great news for crypto and XRP. And even off that news, we didn't see any price increase from that news, really. I mean, XRP pumped pretty much 100% on the day where they were declared not a security, but after they beat the appeal, they didn't really get any positive price action from that decision, and the rest of the crypto market has been stagnant. But what we've seen today is kind of the same thing, or sorry, maybe it was yesterday where the news came out that Greyscale's ETF didn't get appealed. This is a sign that Gary Gensler is backing down, kind of, or maybe he has a secret plot we just don't know about, maybe to stifle it in a different way or later. But this is good news, because the fact that he didn't, or the SEC in general, didn't appeal the Greyscale ETF, a lot of people, this is good because a lot of people are speculating that crypto, or Bitcoin rather, will have all of its ETFs approved all at once. So there is a bunch of different ETFs. We're talking spot ETFs, that is, because futures ETFs in crypto have been getting approved lately. I'm pretty sure futures ETFs for Bitcoin have already been approved. There are some already in existence, but Ethereum, I believe, recently is getting a futures ETF approved. I think they got one approved maybe last week or so. But the fact that all these different institutions are applying for a Bitcoin spot ETF, and they've been delayed for so long, for Greyscale's ETF to not be appealed by the SEC is showing that they basically have no choice but to allow this these kind of innovations to move forward, because the pressure is on the SEC. I mean, they've been holding cryptocurrency as a asset class back for so long, and there's even people that are in the space that have been in the space for a while that say, yes, the SEC should be giving crypto kind of a hard time to kind of, you know, move forward as an industry, because it is still the Wild West. But you got to understand that Bitcoin is like the first asset, basically, that is deflationary and, you know, is primed to have a ETF. And we also know that other assets in the past, such as gold, after they did get an ETF approved, the price went up tremendously. So, you know, this spot ETF possibly coming for Greyscale and all these other institutions, that's huge for crypto. And, you know, Gary Gensler needs to be taught a lesson. Well, maybe not taught a lesson rather, but he needs to realize that institutions and retail investors aren't backing down. Sorry about that. Institutions and retail investors aren't backing down from, getting Bitcoin into, or making Bitcoin more accessible and into the hands of the retail investor, or big institutions by just a click of a button. I mean, I heard a Michael Saylor interview recently about how people with large sums of money are trying to, how difficult it is for large institutions with large sums of money to acquire Bitcoin. And when you're trying to buy hundreds of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, or even billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, it could take over a year just to make that transaction happen, to jump through all the hoops, to make that transaction possible. So the ETF is going to be so great for crypto adoption in general, and I do believe we're going to see that in the next year or two. Even if it doesn't happen next year, we have so many good things happening for Bitcoin. The halving event is coming up. When these ETFs do get approved, it's going to be not only good for Bitcoin, but for the rest of the crypto market. You got to remember that every time good news happens with the SEC, not necessarily just for one specific crypto like XRP or Bitcoin, it helps the entire space. So these are really good things to look forward to in crypto, guys, and we're on our way. I do believe the bear market is over, barring some sort of black swan event, which possibly could happen with all the wars and geopolitical, issues that we've been having lately. A black swan event is possible. I mean, we did see one in 2020, in March of 2020, which we all know what that event was. But black swan events are plausible, and you have to take into consideration that there's always the possibility of one happening. You just can't predict exactly what it'll be or when it'll be, because that's the definition of a black swan in itself. The next thing I wanted to talk about, guys, is making mistakes and not having regrets in life. And over time, I mean, I'm 27 years old and I made a million mistakes, and I will continue to make mistakes, as that nobody's perfect and nobody stays perfect forever. But I made so many mistakes in my everyday life. Here, I thought of a mistake that I made that's, not business or crypto related, but something that I learned to take in stride, considering when I started investing in crypto, and a similar situation that happened to me that makes me feel almost the exact same as I felt going through this bear market. So I really love music, and I'm somewhat of a music producer, and I made songs with a good buddy of mine. We made tracks in the past, and he kind of took a different route with what kind of music genre he was looking to continue his music career with. And I wasn't really in that crowd per se, but him and I will make music, and we love music, and music has always been a big part of my life in general. And ever since I was in high school, I saved every song that I've liked, either on my phone or on a memory card, since I was a kid up until about last year. I saved every song. I'm one of those guys that when I find a song, I'll use a tool like Shazam to find out what the song's name is, or look up whatever song it was. And I had almost every song. I had pretty much every song that I've ever liked and ever heard with my own ears saved to my phone or in a library in some way. I'm just one of those guys that never really had a music platform like Spotify. I never really used those applications. I just kind of downloaded songs to my phone or to my computer and saved them along the way as I went. And it worked out for the last 10 years since I've been in high school. But then at the beginning of this year, 2023, I had all my music saved on a memory card on my phone, and I was recording videos, crypto videos early this year, and all of a sudden my memory card stopped working. And when it stopped working, I lost basically all my music in one full swoop. I mean, I'll never be able to remember all 10,000 plus songs I had saved on my phone. And yes, there were some songs on my phone that I didn't really listen to anyway. And maybe, you know, me losing all my music was like a cleanse in some sort of weird way. But I know this is kind of a little bit off topic and strange where I'm going with this, but just hear me out. When I lost all my music, it kind of felt the same way as me losing almost all my wealth in crypto the last 2 years. It's like my whole life I kept my money in the bank or in investments that basically didn't do anything, that either stayed stagnant or didn't have any increase of value at all. And then when I did find crypto and found investing and put all my money into a new asset class like cryptocurrency, I ended up losing most of my wealth since I invested pretty much at the worst time in 2021. But that's what I try to tell a lot of people that don't know anything about investing or crypto, is that if you invest at the wrong time, that's the most important thing. Like, timing in a market is everything, and I do believe time in the market is so much more important than timing the market. But it was very similar, like, feeling how I pretty much lost almost all my money over the course, not all my money, but my assets, everything that I bought with my own money, all my assets took such a huge hit. And it was kind of the same feeling as losing all my music in one instant. Like, I should have took precautions of, you know, putting my music on a different, storage and backing up my music so that, or even writing the songs that I love the most down on a piece of paper so I would even know what songs to re-download if I wanted to restart, you know, keeping all my music or saving the music that I once had. And it was kind of a very similar feeling to how when I lost so much money in crypto, it's like I didn't have any real plan to protect my wealth. I didn't really look into it. I wasn't, you know, focused on that at that point in my life. And it's just an ignorant phase of my life. And it's just as ignorant to say, oh, I'm going to leave all my money on on a memory card that I don't believe will ever, you know, be corrupted. As I knew, I'm kind of like a techie guy as well. I knew at the back of my mind that at any moment that memory card just could stop working and I could lose all my money. And it's just being naive. Like, when I invested into crypto, I didn't think of losing. I didn't think that, you know, I was going to invest at a time that I was going to lose most of the wealth that I actually put in to invest. Like, there's a lot of times where you just think that, you know, nothing bad is ever going to happen to you, and you think that, you know, you're the smartest guy in the room and know exactly what you're doing. But it's clear that everybody makes mistakes in life, and, you know, making a mistake in one aspect of your life is one thing, but when you make a mistake when it comes to money, you'll feel it like nothing else. So me investing, you know, at the worst time was kind of felt like the same way as losing all my music all at once, because it was such a big punch to the gut of me just being naive and ignorant and not, you know, doing my research or taking the time to, you know, back up what I should have saved or should have looked to, you know, maybe protect if I didn't do the right things to, you know, protect my wealth or protect my music. I know it's kind of a silly comparison, but, you know, when you lose something in life, you'll always remember what it feels to have it taken away from you. And when it's your own fault, it feels even worse most of the time. So I just wanted to make a quick video about, you know, try not to have regrets in life. Try to move on from your mistakes. Try to learn from your mistakes and understand that, you know, if you do make mistakes in life, you can't take it back, and that you're just going to try to get better as time goes on. And that goes with me safeguarding my music or, you know, safeguarding my wealth. Like, guys, life is an interesting thing. And when you learn to, you know, safeguard and protect your wealth or anything else in life, you'll have a much easier time of going from 0 to $1 million in crypto.